Earlier, you talked about William Davis, his rotary yogurt. I'm a fan of that as well. But that gets me thinking about SIBO, which is something we should talk about given our focus on the microbiome. So talk about what that is, and then how you go about assessing somebody for it and treating somebody.
So SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and there's multiple forms that you can have. It can be from methane-producing bacteria or sulfur-producing bacteria or hydrogen-producing bacteria. There's tests you can get for it, although, and this is just my opinion, in my experience in practice, if you have other health conditions, you usually want to get at those first before SIBO, because SIBO can be caused by so many different things. And so if you go straight for SIBO, you can be on this, gerbil wheel of treating and it coming back and treating, and it can be very defeating. Whereas if you get at the cause, then it's just a one and done, or sometimes you don't even have to go at it directly, because getting at the cause means it goes away. So some of the causes. The most common cause back in the day was simply traveling overseas and getting traveler's diarrhea. That one's an easy to treat, slam dunk. Anybody can help you with that. If it's 10 years later, and that's a different story. So usually with that, we're dealing either with histamine intolerance. So histamines are overproduced, or the mucosal layer has collapsed. So you've got all these histamines that are impacting the ileocecal valve, which is a little valve about 1.5 inches to the right of the belly button. And it's impacting whether it stays open or shut. So if it's open, you're having a lot of diarrhea. That is usually the hydrogen, though not always. And if it's kind of shut, then you're having more constipation, and that is the methane more often than not. So the trick to that is to get at the histamines, not to go directly at the SIBO, right? And so whether it's histamines from you don't produce enough DAO enzyme to break down the histamines, or you need more mucosa, or you're lacking the microbes that regulate histamines. Whatever you need to get at your histamines, you do that. And then the biggest crowd that I see are the nervous system disorders, because I work with very disabled people. So, they don't have their myelin sheaths, their what's called the migratory motor complex. It's the nervous system within the gut lining. It makes up about 70% of our nervous system. It's broken. So it's just not moving at the correct speed, right? The brain and none of it's communicating appropriately. And so we have to get at the whole nervous system, really, to get the speed of movement through the digestive system to move along. And so we go about it that way. But there's certain conditions that I like to think of. If we think of building a building, right? Let's say we're building a skyscraper. You have the foundation first. And that's going to be like your first step. And that's going to be different with each person based on what you're dealing with, all right? But if we're talking about the microbiome, that would be your initial seeding. And then the first level would be breast milk, right? And then the third would be oxytocin bonding with your family, right? And so you have all these layers. Well, with illness, it's the same. So if you have a number of diagnoses, you want to take an eagle eye view, and you want to look at, is it immune? Is it nervous system? What are we dealing with here? A lot of times, SIBO is nervous system. So you want to work on the nerves. SIBO is the last thing. It's the penthouse. You don't build the penthouse first. You do it last. So that's what I would recommend. A lot of the protocols I see to go after SIBO, I think are very defeating for the clients and the patients.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch a full episode. I'll see you over there.
We're all born with about 200 very important microbes, and they're starting to go endangered. Now we're lucky to get a handful. We're missing a lot of them. And I think as soon as the public starts to learn about how important these are, there's going to be a massive race.